Hi, I'm Cheyenne, and I'm here with Editor-in-Chief of Breakthrough Magazine, Juanita Washington. Thank you for being with us, Juanita.
Thanks so much.
Why was it important for you to create Breakthrough Magazine?
Well, it was important for me to create Breakthrough because after years spent in the media, I realized that we needed a platform for people of color, especially women of color, to show positive images. You know, most times in the news, it's very hard to get positive news in because as soon as breaking news happens, the first thing to go is all the great positive news. So oftentimes it's really a hard struggle to get that in there, but this was a platform that did not have a timestamp or a time deadline on it, and that we really could get into great stories of some great people in our community.
How does Breakthrough contribute to the community?
Well, in addition to many of the stories that we tell of positive images of women, we also worked with the YWCA, and we have done makeover stories for them. And really, in the beginning of that process, I thought, okay, we'll do a nice makeover for women who are in the middle of transition and who may need a fresh start. But when I saw the outcome of it, how it really transformed their lives, was very touching. It was one of the greatest things I think that we've done at Breakthrough, just to see how women coming in with low self-esteem, although it did not transform overnight or over a course of a day, it did impact them greatly, and we received even emails about them afterwards.
So tell me, what does an editor-in-chief do?
Well, basically the editor-in-chief holds the vision for the publication. We developed ideas for each issue, and we double check everything that goes into the issue, make sure that we are very well on target with our readers.
What kind of leadership skills have you found yourself using in your role as editor-in-chief?
Listening. Very much of a talker. I can speak and I can tell everybody what needs to be done and how it should be done, but listening has been a great improvement for me, you know, because when you listen, you're able to lead more efficiently because you can hear from the people around you. Because at the end of the day, I want more than just people like Juanita Washington to pick up an issue. I want everyone to be able to pick up an issue. So in order for that to happen, some of even the ideas I have, sometimes I have to veto my own ideas, like that really wasn't a good idea. You know, after listening to the group and the masses, because the more voices you have at the table, the more diversity you have at the table, the better it will reach the community.
So what was it like to start a magazine from scratch and build it up from nothing?
It was a challenge, to say the least, but I took a chunk of it at a time. So the most challenging thing of it is to have an idea and then to implement it, right? Because you can have tons of ideas, but it really all comes down to execution and tenacity to stay with it and to, and persevere through a lot of different changes. You may have a great issue, one issue, and the next issue, it may not be so great, So it's really about staying committed to the goal. What kept it going, because that's the key. You can start a lot of things, The key is about the endurance of it, because there are plenty of times, plenty of moments, we all have them, where we may not want to continue, we may want to do other things. You start something and it's a tough process. Anything that's tough has a great reward. And sometimes in the middle of that, you may feel like, okay, this is a lot of work, this is a lot of toll. But when you begin to work outside of yourself for a greater purpose of touching a community, of really, being involved in trying to put great images out there for people, it makes everything seem so minute.
For young people who are interested in journalism, what kind of words of advice do you have for them?
I would say focus. Focus would be extremely important. What is your end game? What do you want your career to look like at the end of the day, after you're finished? When you say, I'm getting ready to retire, what do you want that to look like? How do you want to retire? What mark do you want to leave? Because once you realize what that mark is, you already know what the end is. Now it's just navigating to get there.
As a woman who's in a leadership position, what do you want to say to young girls who aspire to be leaders?
I say, stand strong on your beliefs. Don't worry about the things that may come to hinder your process, because at the end of the day, they will always be there. So it's important for you to really think about what it is that you want to do, and then stand by that, and stand by what's important to you and your beliefs, and know even if you get it wrong, you've gotten it right, because there's a lesson in every failure. So at the end of the day, if you can just stand on what matters the most to you, you've already won.
Juanita, thank you so much for talking to us today. You're an amazing woman and I enjoyed speaking to you.
Oh, it was so nice to meet you. I had a really great time. I think that you're amazing and doing amazing things. Keep up the good work. And I want you to take a look at our issue coming up.